Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for the channel's Halloween celebration, man. Not a week, not 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks. Wanted to do something a little bit longer this time because I only did a week last year, and I was only able to do a few tracks. So I want to make sure I get a bunch done. This one here, Jam Baxter. I know we're doing back-to-back Baxter tracks, but Hellathon was the top voted not voted, but the top liked comment. So I'm going to kick off the celebration with this one here. So without further ado, man, let's jump in. See what he's got for us. It's already got that dark feel. I like it.
I rushed in at the ground floor, swinging my southpaw. Thought I'd escape from the criminals outdoors. Swore I was safe when the sinister sound caused my ears to bleed in a militant downpour. And as they pissed hundreds of liters of blood, I nearly slipped up from the speed of the flood. When the demon encrusted with leeches and pus start screaming and beating my feet into mush. Quick things, I ripped my teeth from my gums just to stab him in his creature, his features and run. But my feet have become not burnt and infected, septic and spurting with curdling red shit. Grabbing loose flesh and some dirty intestines. I fashion new legs, started searching for exits. Turned to the left when the worms I'd ingested just burst from my neck with my sternum connected. They were like, and I was like, fuck. Dusting up to the first floor, clutching my guts. Banging at the door, sat and rusted it shut. But I spat a raw bar and it crumbled to dust. The whole room was strange and it stunk.
Okay, man. I don't know who did the production on this, but I'm really digging the whole feel. And even though Jam is always that poet, man, that paints a picture, and sometimes it's very obscure, what he's done here, which I'm really digging for, especially for this Halloween celebration, is this fact. Even though these pictures he's painting with his words are so vivid, they're not like something you need to. The thing that kind of caught me off guard was the criminals at the beginning, but I'm seeing this as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking like a zombie apocalypse type of thing. And maybe that's kind of like in his confusion, he thought they were criminals. It's just people, raising hell, attacking, killing people. Maybe he considered them criminals at that point. But then when he finally gets up close to one, and then he calls it a demon, right? And it destroys his feet, rips out his teeth and all that kind of shit. And it makes me think, like, at that point, is he already dying? Is he already turning into one of the zombies as well? But he's not completely turned yet, which is kind of neat because I'm reading a book from an author named David Wellington, and I read the first of the series, and it's all about zombies. And this one, Zombie Nation, it starts off in an interesting way, because usually it doesn't actually happen this way, where it starts off talking about these people who are actually turning into zombies and what's going on in their mind and their body as they're actually turning into zombies. So it's really cool. So this fits in actually quite well, and maybe that's why my mind jumped straight there. The fact that he's holding his guts and all that kind of shit makes me think that he's already turning into a zombie, and that's all right. Let's go, man. I'm liking it so far, of course.
From my gums just to stab him in his creature, his features and run. But my feet have become not burnt and infected, septic and spurting with curdling red shit. Grabbing loose flesh and some dirty intestines. I fashion new legs, started searching for exits. Turned to the left when the worms I'd ingested just burst from my neck with my sternum connected. They were like, and I was like, fuck. Dusting up to the first floor, clutching my guts. Banging at the door, sat and rusted it shut. But I spat a raw bar and it crumbled to dust. The whole room was strange and it stunk of the muskus. I'm all tuned state plus fungus and lost. Heard the thundering crunch. Thundered my lunch in disgust.
What the fuck is that? What? That is butter.
Yeah. It's every girl I've ever banged in the world that never rang. All forced in a monster, a dirty messy flan. So I burnt 11 grams of some dirty smelly gans, trying to fumigate a room, but that weren't a heavy plan, cause I'm lean now. On some wax on, wax off, plugged up the gas with some tampons, dashed off, whipped out my brick and done.
Okay, so now now that I said he was using straightforward but um, very vivid imagery. Unless that idea where he says that the creature was made up by all the women that he had slept with but never called back, and then immediately talks about doing drugs after the fact to fumigate the room to get him out of his mind. And I wonder if that's possibly what he means by that. They weren't actually in the room. The monster wasn't in the room. It was in his head, and he smoked drugs to get it to fumigate it out of the room to get. And I'm thinking often when people are dying is when they start to think about the life they lived or the life flashed before their eyes. You've heard that before too, but you start to think about all the things you did, all the people you hurt, all the things you didn't do, all the things you wish you did. So I wonder if that's part of that idea. But again, man, the imagery in this is so amazing to me because I can see it playing out as vividly as if I'm watching it on a television. I can see all this shit happening, man. Just as he's saying it, it's like the dude's so masterful.
So I burnt 11 grams of some dirty smelly gans, trying to fumigate a room, but that weren't a heavy plan, cause I'm lean now. Bought some wax off, flogged up the gas with some tampons, dashed off, whipped out my brick and dial 999. But the voice on the line screamed, I thought, what, ring Ronnie, and if he's still alive, tell him bring a kitchen knife and then swing for his friggin' life. But I couldn't speak with my toothless mouth, it's like, what, you stupid clown. Look, I'm trying to dig this group.
Sorry, I just want to say this kind of builds upon that idea where I think he's already dead, or he's about to die. He's turning into the zombie, man. Because yes, he ripped out his teeth, but at the same time, you can still speak with no teeth. But I think it's that his brain is making him believe that that's the reason, because he doesn't want to believe that he's dead and that he's turning into a zombie or any kind of other kind of creature, right? So that's what it is. It's the reason why he can't speak is because he's already that monster, and he's lost the ability to speak. I like that he calls Ronnie Bosch too, because on my Instagram I posted I was doing some yard work, listening to my mix, and Ronnie Bosch 100 popped on, and I thought, you know what, man, I love Ronnie Bosch so much. The dude is a G, man, and definitely have not had enough Ronnie Bosch on the channel, so I put it out there on Instagram. They hit me up with some Ronnie Bosch tracks, man. We got to get some more of him on there. So it's funny that he's in this track too.
Some dirty smelly gans, trying to fumigate a room, but that weren't a heavy plan, cause I'm lean now. Bought some wax off, flogged up the gas with some tampons, dashed off, whipped out my brick and dial 999. But the voice on the line screamed, I thought, what, ring Ronnie, and if he's still alive, tell him bring a kitchen knife and then swing for his friggin' life. But I couldn't speak with my toothless mouth, it's like, what, you stupid clown. Look, I'm trying to dig this groupie out. What the fuck you hoovered down? Man, I was trying to explain all the fuckery before. All that came out was, but suddenly he paused like, there's someone at the door. You better be that scummy motherfucker with my drawer, or I'm busting up his jaw. No long, I'm gonna get the door. Hold on. They got to him too, fuck it, I'll get over it, Hieronymus too. I got bopping to do, through this ominous goo. Stuck my guts back in with a bottle of glue, I got a boo. Straight dust to the second floor, met by a sweaty severed head by a metal door. Retching with 7 doors, slobbering slush, vomiting bugs and snot from a column of sludge. And if that wasn't enough, swinging from the ceiling with 44 corpses, dripping and congealing, pickling and bleeding, reach from my spine, whipped to the leeches and beetles and flies. As the insects ran back to the nest, spun round, saw Ron Bosch back from the dead. But the man was possessed on some Dracula flex, with his face hanging off a man's scabs on his flesh. Got an axe on my neck and there's crabs in my crepes, and a rancid tarantula clamped on my chest. I tried to black but collapsed as he said, fuck you, jump past the
Bro, I want to hear this last part again. I just want to hear it again. I'm gonna bring it back further than that.
2 and 2. Fuck it, I'll get over it, Hieronymus who. I got bopping to do through this ominous goo. Stuck my guts back in with a bottle of glue. I got a boo. Straight dust to the second floor. Met by a sweaty severed head by a metal door. Retching with 7 doors, slobbering slush. Vomiting bugs and snot from a column of sludge. And if that wasn't enough, swinging from the ceiling with 44 corpses dripping and congealing, pickling and bleeding.
That's kind of what I'm trying to think of the 44. Now the 7, the number 7 has lots of different, what's the word I'm looking for? The number 7 can symbolize a lot of things as a holy number, but also there is, if I'm not mistaken, in Revelations, when the world starts to come to an end, they open 7 seals. So I don't know if this is what he's getting at with the 7 doors, or maybe this something's not coming to me. But when he brings up the 44 soon after, makes me feel like there's something in the 44 that actually is important, and I'm not getting it. Some symbolism to that 44. I don't feel like it's just an arbitrary number that he threw out there. I'm gonna have to look that up afterward. I'm loving the storytelling though, man. Again, I can see every single second of it immediately in my brain. Loving it.
Flush, vomiting bugs and snot from a column of sludge. And if that wasn't enough, swinging from the ceiling with 44 corpses dripping and congealing, pickling and bleeding, reach from my spine, whipped to the leeches and beetles and flies. As the insects ran back to the nest, spun round, saw one washed back from the dead. But the man was possessed on some Dracula flex, with his face hanging off and mad scabs on his flesh. Got an axe on my neck and there's crabs in my crepes, and a rancid tarantula clamped on my chest. I tried to black but collapsed as he said, "Fuck you, Jack Baxter, you're dead."
Love that sound. Yo, big up Steve for posting this too, man. I know he was saying that there wasn't a good version of it online, and so big ups to you, bro, for putting this up here. Cool track, hell of a way to kick off Halloween celebration, man. The idea that Ronnie appears again at the end and his face is falling off and shit makes me think of the zombies again. So right off the start, had me feeling that way, and that's Jam, man. Jam put those images in my brain right away, and he carried that all the way through. The only thing I wonder now is whether or not it was all just a drug-induced hallucination that he had. Because the one thing that I guess confused me was the tarantula on his chest and stuff. So maybe it's just one huge drug hallucination. And because even when he calls Ronnie says like, what have you like, what kind of drugs have you taken now, right? What have you hoovered up? What has got you in this state? So it could very easily be that as well, but it's still like a nightmare fuel. It's a look into a really bad trip, right? Whether it was real or not. Cool track, man. Cool to kick it off this way. Going to do my best. This week is super busy. Looking at my schedule with work, but I'm going to do my best to get at least 3 videos done this week and keep it rolling, man. I want to get a bunch of videos done for Halloween because I know there's a bunch on that list that I want to get to. So I love you guys for being here, man. 700 videos deep, starting on our. I guess our next big plateau is 750, right? And then it's 1K. Just keep rolling, man. I love you guys each and every day for being here. Until next time, stay safe. Good to each other.